Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm just getting out of work. Had a very busy day at work today. The sun, shut my sunroof. Where I'm parked down here, there's a lot going on. There's some children at a playground. Birds are chirping and there's some people talking. So if you hear anything in the background, it's just that noise. I wanted to talk about appreciation at our jobs. And first I'm going to start off by telling you what my job is. I am the activity director at a skilled nursing facility. You might have heard me say that in other videos. I have been at my facility since 1999, so going on 22 years, I believe. And in my 22 years, I've done many positions. I've been in nursing, I've been a CNA, I've worked in the business office doing accounts payable and managing residents' funds. I've been an activity assistant, and finally I decided I wanted to be the activity director. So I went to school and I got my license for that. And healthcare, or working in a nursing facility or a nursing home, skilled nursing facility is kind of a fancy term for nursing home, but at the end of the day, it's a nursing home. Healthcare is very rewarding, and if you work in healthcare, I'm sure you can agree that it is rewarding. But lately, in the past couple years, you might also agree that it doesn't feel as rewarding, and it's more of a challenge since the pandemic. And being in the activity department does not make anyone exempt from that feeling, because there's some sirens going. See if I can talk through them. Because people, I think when they hear of activities, they think of a lot of fun and games. Whether you're an activity assistant or a volunteer or an activity director, there's so much more to activities than fun and games. It goes way beyond bingo. It goes way beyond crafts. And if you're an activity director, you know that it goes way beyond the calendar. It goes way beyond hiring entertainers. There's so much behind the scenes. There's care planning, individualizing activities to meet the needs of certain people. And there's different levels of care. We have high functioning residents. We have some residents with, some impairment. And then you have the residents with dementia. And there's different stages of dementia. And it's hard. It's hard. I have 150 beds at my facility. Well, I don't have 150 beds. We are a 150 bed facility, and we are not at full capacity right now, getting close. But I am responsible for finding something for 150 people to do, to keep themselves occupied, to keep them from being lonely, touching their lives on a daily basis. And I am lucky to be an activity director that has people working. I don't want to say below me or under me, because I get out there and I work right with them, but working with me or for me. They're my assistants. I am the director. There are activity directors out there, and I know of many that are the sole department, sole person in the department. But I have people that work for me or with me. And we do the bingo, and we do the entertainment, and we do the crafts, and we do the sing-alongs, and we do social parties, and we do birthday parties. We do everything. But like I said, if you're an activity director, you know that there's so much behind the scenes. The care planning, the progress notes, And then sometimes we might also feel like we are glorified babysitters. And I'm not bad-mouthing my company. I'm not bad-mouthing anybody in my facility. But sometimes that's what you feel like. Sometimes you feel like you are the department head that is at the bottom of the totem pole. Sometimes you feel like you're the scapegoat. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want this to go into that direction. But sometimes you feel like you are just so busy. And everybody in the nursing home is extremely busy. And everyone plays a very important role in the lives of the residents. Dietary, they're responsible for the meals. Housekeeping, they're responsible for keeping their residence rooms clean. Laundry, they're responsible for keeping the clothes clean. The CNAs are for the personal care, the nurses and the medication, all the way up to the administrator is responsible for providing a home that meets standards and is runs to state qualifications. But what I'm getting at is appreciation. And sometimes we don't feel appreciated in our jobs, and not just in the nursing home. A police officer might not feel appreciated. Construction worker, anyone that's employed, sometimes we don't feel appreciated. But I want to tell you or share with you a little story. Part of my job is twice a week, I do care plan meetings with different department heads and the resident and their family members. And I have a resident that she's probably in her late 70s, who was an activity director in her younger days before she retired. And I think she worked, I don't know where she worked, and that doesn't matter. And we talk about my job, and the programs and stuff. But yesterday at her care plan meeting, when we were done talking about whatever with her family, she said that she just wanted to say something to everybody at the meeting. And what she said was about me. And I'm not gloating. I'm not tooting my own horn. But what she said at the end of the meeting was, I just want to say that, and these are her words, I just want to say that as a licensed activity director myself, that Robin is the definition of an activity director. She told me that everything I plan is with deep thought for each resident, whether it's a birthday party or musical entertainment or a craft. She said that I make sure it's a craft that everyone will enjoy. She said I am the epitome of what an activity director should be. And again, while I'm not gloating, that made me feel so good. Because not only is she a resident and she is getting something out of what I plan, she's been in my shoes. And we've shared stories about, short staffing or different residents or whatever. It was just so nice to hear that someone that is, one, been in my shoes, and two, is now on the receiving end of what I do or what she did in her younger day. And just to hear that compliment come from her spoke to me in a way that said, this is why you do your job. Because sometimes we hear from family members or a coworker, I really liked what you did, or, the dining room looks so nice, or that's a good activity. But to hear that come from a resident during her care plan meeting to let me know, you're making me happy, you're doing a good job, It made me feel appreciated. Because let's face it, like I said, sometimes we just don't feel appreciated. Whether you're the president of the United States or the activity director at a nursing home, right? So, and that also shows me that when you don't think someone is listening or watching or looking or taking it all in, when you're struggling and when you're working really hard one day, someone is watching you. So, I feel appreciated. I feel appreciated yesterday, and I feel appreciated today. So if you are doing a job and you are caring for people, or if you're sweeping stones off the sidewalk, know that you are appreciated. You are appreciated. Have a good night.